I'm Erin Cookston. For this practice, so we're going to be using a blanket, or you can use a towel. If you don't have a blanket, you just snag a towel and bring it to your practice space. So just take a moment to make sure that you have that prop. And then we're going to begin in child's pose. So we're going to use the blanket or the towel to support the neck and the head in child's pose, rather than letting the head hang down, which sometimes can put pressure on the neck and the upper spine. So just fold your towel, your blanket over a couple of times so it makes actually kind of a pretty tall, like kind of brick or block like shape. And go ahead and come down to your knees, your shins. Bring your knees hips width distance. Just let the buttock bones drop down whatever degree they can. And rather than trying to really extend your spine and lengthen or sink down in child's pose, you're actually just going to bring your forehead down to the blanket. So the head is going to stay pretty elevated. It's not going to drop too much. And then just relax your arms somewhere where they fall naturally, so that you're not pulling down on your shoulders. You're not putting a lot of pressure on your upper back. You're mostly trying to bring support into the neck and the upper back, so that whatever tension is living there temporarily, whatever tension's there can start to just fade away. So the key with tightness, the key with tension, is that you don't really want to stretch it too much at first. You want to just create a supportive position for the body, a supportive posture, so that your body can actually start to let it go. And so that's really what we're doing here with this first child's pose. You're just setting yourself up to give the body the opportunity it wants and it needs to just let go of unnecessary tightness. And so let's just take 2 more breaths. Relax your jaw. Let your attention settle into yourself in your own space. 1 more breath. Very good. Press up onto your hands and your knees. Go ahead and move that blanket off to the side of the mat so it's just gently out of your way. Ground your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Separate your feet, hips width distance. Make sure that the palms are flat. And as you breathe in, you're just going to let the tummy drop down, the tailbone curl up, and then widen the collarbones in the chest and draw the center of the chest forward and just gently gaze forward. And then as you exhale, you're going to round your back body, tuck your tailbone, and draw your chin to your chest. And just try to keep the arms straight. We're going to go a couple of times. You just try to keep breathing deeply. As you inhale, bring the center of the chest forward, but keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, rounding, and really try to widen the shoulder blades away from each other on the upper back. And twice more. Nice and easy. Again, these are gentle movements that are just trying to inspire the body to loosen up tightness or stiffness, right? You don't have to try to change it. You're not trying to stretch too much. You're really just tapping into breath, body, attention, becoming more centered. Last exhale, you'll round. Good, and then just come back to a flat level back, a level spine, and just make sure that you're not tensing the back of the neck and like overexposing the throat. And also make sure you're not hanging your head down and building pressure around the base of the neck. So really taking a moment, it's like super subtle, really taking a moment to just center your spine and your back, kind of opening your mind's eye to that kind of detail of like what's centered. Keep the belly button pulling into the spine, and we're going to transition into downward dog, and I want you to just try to keep that sense of centeredness. So you'll walk your hands a little bit more forward without tensing the shoulders or tensing the neck. allow the legs to support that transition into downward facing dog, and you're just doing the best you can to toe that line of the neck, staying connected and in line with the upper back. The upper back feeding into the length of the mid and low back, all the way through the tailbone, all the way through the base of the spine. Take one more deep breath. Great. Walk your feet towards your hands or your hands towards your feet. Separate your feet hips width distance. Nice gentle bend in the knees, and then grab opposite elbows and let the torso hang down. And so we'll spend a few breaths in this standing forward bend. This is mostly about the spine. So just see if you can close your eyes. Notice all those spots or all those pockets of tightness like we all have in different areas along the spinal column. You just want to notice today, right now, where do you feel your body responding to this traction through the spine? And just each breath, see if you can let go of a little bit more resistance. So that with each breath, you're really allowing gravity to help the spine cascade down, down, down. Two more breaths. Loosen up the neck. Let the crown of the head just trickle down towards the tips of the toes. And then from here, we're going to release the hands, the arms down. Just arch up so much that you can ground the palms flat and see that they're shoulders width distance. And then just nice and easy, you're going to step back to downward facing dog. Just two more breaths. Separate your feet hips width distance. See if right away you can align the neck with the upper spine, align the upper spine with the rest of the back body. And then we'll lower down to the knees. And you're going to return to child's pose. So you'll set the buttock bones down towards the heels. Make a pillow with your hands. Release the forehead down. Relax the shoulders down. And take one more breath. Great. So we're going to lift up and we're going to transition now into Sukhasana. So it's just a comfortable seated position. So I recommend using the blanket or the towel so you have a little bit of something to sit on so that you don't feel any unnecessary pressure or rounding around your spine. So you just sit right on the edge of that folded blanket or towel, and one shin bone in front of the other. It doesn't matter which one you begin with because we'll always balance things out on both sides. But just take a moment to make sure that you feel comfortable, to make sure that you can sit down and feel balanced and stable. And it's always nice to close the eyes so you give yourself that moment to allow your attention to drop back down into your body. Roll the shoulders back, wide and across your chest, and just take one more nice gentle breath. Great. So we're going to open up the eyes if they were closed. You're going to stay balanced through the buttock bones, do the best you can to stay balanced through the spine, and we'll kind of work into the shoulders and the neck a little bit more specifically. So interlace your fingers and then extend your arms forward, like towards me or towards that wall you're facing. And I really want you to let the arm bones kind of pull out of the shoulder socket. So you'll feel like you're almost like kind of rounding your upper back already or caving in towards your chest. And then as you do that, now try to really accentuate the round in the upper back without slumping down through the lower spine. So it's like you're just trying to push your upper back back as you reach your knuckles forward. Drop your chin down towards your chest. And then imagine you're trying to pull your fingers apart as you keep the upper back wide. Keep the neck relaxed. Take 2 breaths. You're trying to breathe into the width of your shoulder blades and your upper back. One more breath. Now delicately lift your neck, your head back up so it's centered. Pull your arm bones back into the shoulder socket. Keep the arms straight. Now spin the palms away from you and then reach your arms all the way up and overhead. And as soon as the arms go up, you're going to stay pretty centered through your spine. Bend at your elbows gently, and then try to pull your arm bones back in space a little bit more. So it'll feel maybe a little bit funny for your shoulders, but you're just trying to bring the arm bones back. Stay centered, try not to push the chest too much forward. And then once the arm bones go back as far as they feel they can without too much force, you're just gonna press your arms straight once again. Big breath in, lengthen up. Stay through the exhale. Very good. We're going to release the clasp of the hands, spin the palms to face each other, and then go ahead and lower your arms forward and all the way down. Great. Bring your left fingertips out to the left side of your mat. Stay pretty propped up onto the left fingertips. Ground down through the right buttock bone. Lift that right arm up. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly drop the left shoulder away from the ear and then lean over to the left to breathe into that right side waist. And then just a couple of times, stay in the side bend. Again, that left shoulder needs to stay away from the ear. Go ahead and turn the gaze up and then gently come back to center and then turn the gaze down. Just noticing what you notice, back to center. One more time, gaze up and center. Good, gaze down and back to center. Great, all the way up. Right into the second side, so right fingertips go out, left arm goes up. Right shoulder away from the ear, lengthen up through the left side waist, and then just nice and easy, over you go, moving that right shoulder down. And then again, just a couple of times, gazing up. And back to center. So always moving back to center before you go to that other turn, that other range of motion. Right, back to center. One more time, gazing up. And back to center. Gazing down. And back to center. Good. All the way back up. Release that left arm down. Okay, so we're going to switch across the legs so that the other shin bone is in front. And again, just taking a moment, making sure that the buttock bones ground down. Make sure that you feel centered best you can through your spine. If you can take a moment to close the eyes, do that. And then we'll blink the eyes open. We're going to twist. So bring your right fingertips back behind you, and then bring your left hand to your right knee. Down through the buttock bones, up through the center of the chest. Big breath in, and just ever so slightly turn your ribs, your chest to the right. And then we're going to stay in the twist. Turn your gaze all the way over that right shoulder, so it's almost like you're trying to look behind you. And then come back to center with the gaze, stay in the twist. And then turn your gaze over that left shoulder, and then back to center. One more time, turning to the right, center with a gaze, turning to the left, and center with a gaze. Come back to center, release your hands down on the knees, close your eyes. And so just allow yourself a moment to notice center. Make sure that there's no unnecessary tension or tightness around your neck or your shoulders. We'll just take one more breath in center. Now blink your eyes open and we'll twist to the other side. So bring your left fingertips back behind you, bring your right hand to your left knee, ground down through the buttock bones, lift up through the center of the chest, and then turn your ribs, your chest to the left. And as soon as you twist to the left, you're going to stay in the twist for several breaths, but just turn your gaze over that left shoulder so you're looking behind you, and then bring your gaze back to center, and then turn your gaze over that right shoulder. Back back to center. Keep breathing. Gaze over the left shoulder. Center. Last time over the right shoulder. And then back to center with the gaze. And then bring your torso now unraveling all the way back to center. And again, just close your eyes. Allow your spinal column to just kind of line up evenly. Take another breath. Long breath in. Exhale out. Good, blink the eyes open. We're going to switch across the legs so that the other shin bone is in front. And then now we're going to sit up tall still, so we're staying seated for a little bit longer. And you're going to extend your right arm, just your right arm forward. And then cross your right arm to the left of center, and then just use that left hand to hug it in. And as soon as you cross over, you're going to let that left ear drop to the left shoulder. And just breathing in deeply, noticing where you feel any tightness along the right side of the neck. You don't have to try to force, you don't have to push. You're just really allowing the right side of the neck to feel the way it does. One more breath. Now bring your head back to center. You're going to release that left arm, or the right arm, excuse me, and then the left arm is going to extend forward. Cross that left arm to the right of center. Go ahead and hug that arm in, and then just drop right ear to right shoulder. And just breathing deeply. And again, you're just noticing where the neck feels tight or stiff if it does. You don't have to try to stretch it. You don't have to try to change it. You're just breathing. One more breath. Great. Bring your head back to center. You're going to release that left arm. Hands come down onto the knees. Just roll the shoulders back and down. One more time. And then you're going to roll the shoulders up, forward, and down. And just one more time. Good. So lastly, we're going to uncross the shin bones. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees widen. And you just rest your hands, your arms, wherever they go, kind of comfortably or naturally. And I want you to allow your spine to start to fold over just as much as you can. So you're kind of leaning over the legs. And then most importantly here is to release the neck. So you're just going to let your chin kind of tuck towards your chest so that the crown of the head feels like it's kind of pointing downward towards your feet, towards your toes. One more breath. Good. Lengthen through your neck first, and then lift the torso all the way up. Great job. So just draw the knees together, sit comfortably for a moment, however feels best for you. Rest your hands on your legs. And close your eyes. And I want you to just take 3 breaths where you're really breathing into the width across the collarbones, the chest. Breathing into the width across your upper back and your shoulder blades. And just allowing, noticing all 4 sides of the neck lengthening effortlessly up. Good. Palms together at center. Gently bow your chin to your chest. Namaste. Thank you so much. Stay in touch with me at erincookston.com. I'll see you next time.